First and foremost, congrats to Clemson. This was a big-time game. This was a big-time game, and we were very fortunate to be a part of it. I'm really proud of my team. I thought we fought, and we put ourselves in a position to win. We didn't get off to a great start, but we fought throughout, had the lead at halftime. I thought some of the guys that came in off the bench were magnificent, really gave us a boost and played some really good minutes. We had a 8-point lead with 5.5 minutes, and we weren't able to make some shots down the stretch. I thought we got good looks, and they made some tough ones. They banked in a shot over tough defense. We play good defense. They get an offensive rebound, and a guy that hadn't scored in conference play makes a shot. That's the difference in the game. In these games like this, when you have two good teams and it's a tight battle, it just comes down to who can make, a few more plays. And unfortunately, they did. And so you give them credit, you tip your hat. Really proud of my team, really proud of our group. This will help us as we move forward, and look forward to the next one. So you guys can ask JB stuff.
JB, can you just talk about the atmosphere in this one? It looked like, a lot of your fans and students and everybody came out to support you guys today.
Yeah, definitely. The atmosphere was amazing. Big shout out to the Oakland Zoo again for showing up and showing out, and definitely helping us throughout the duration of the game. It was big for us to have that support.
Jamarius, it seemed like they did a lot of good defense in the paint to make it hard for you guys to shoot, but you guys still put up 74 points. What adjustments did you guys make to get your offense going?
Yeah, for us, we just wanted to execute with a little bit more pace, get into our sets. Coach had a big emphasis of being strong with the basketball, so that was another key thing, is being strong with the basketball, not turning it over, especially when you get down in the paint. They like to collapse, and, they're sending guys, they're physical, so that was a couple of key adjustments that we made.
Jamarius, when you have quite a few players get in foul trouble, how much does that kind of throw things off in terms of rhythm and flow and even getting into your own sets?
Yeah, it definitely affects us, with our rhythm and flow. But when those instances happen where guys are in foul trouble, it's next man up. And like Coach said, we had some good contributions off the bench that helped us.
Mars, you guys made, I think, just 2 field goals inside of 4 minutes remaining in the game. What kind of happened in those closing minutes?
Yeah, we got good looks. We just couldn't capitalize on our opportunities. Big shout out to Clemson. They were able to capitalize down the stretch, and that was really the difference in the ball game.
Nate missed a shot earlier in the first half, and I saw you and Greg go over to him, tell him to keep his chin up, kind of, emphasize for him to keep shooting. What was that like? What was his performance like today?
Yeah, it was big, the minutes that we got from Nate. He's out there battling for us. And with him, regardless if he makes or miss, it's me and the other guy's job to continue to give him confidence. And that's all you saw right there, was us continuing to put the battery in his back and tell him the next shot was going in, and we did that.
Jamarius, the last 2 losses have been by 1-point margins and came down to the last possession. What does that say about the fight level and just the grit of this team?
Yeah, it just shows that we're going to fight to the very end. The last 2 instances where we lost, we just didn't make enough winning plays to pull it out. So that's really the difference.
What does Guillermo do when he comes on the floor for you guys that seems to generate a spark?
Yeah, for him, he's fighting out there. He's giving us all he got. And for us, we feed off that energy. When you see another guy battling, he's kind of undersized when it comes to his position as far as strength and size-wise. So for us, when we see him battling, giving it his all, it definitely gives us a boost in energy to do the same.
Coach Brown talked about how he said they couldn't guard you either half. Seems like whenever you drive to the basket, you're finding a way to score. What goes into the work to make so many different mid-range shots?
It's just my preparation, and then just my teammates. The type of weapons that we have on the floor, it gives me an opportunity to have space out there and to get to my spots. So if it wasn't for my teammates, I wouldn't be able to get to my spots.
JB, everything going on with DeMar Hamlin this week, you guys wore the shirts, they had the banner. How much do you feel like, for one, a guy your age, to see him go through something like that, and the way he rallied this week maybe possibly contributed to the atmosphere at all, in terms of just everybody kind of really feeling the vibe today?
Yeah, it was great to see that, he's breathing on his own and that he's doing well. And for us as the Pitt community, we just want to give him support during this time. So if it played a role in the, crowd numbers, then, it is what it is. But you know, we just wanted to show our support with the shirts and everything else.
All right, thanks, Jeremy.
All right, cool.
Good job.
Jeff, what made them so difficult in the paint and hard for you guys to try to take advantage of opportunities there?
Well, the very first thing is that they're a good team. That's the very first thing. They're very, very physical, and it was a really physical game throughout. You know, again, I thought we were able to get to the paint and get some baskets, but for us defensively, you know, at the end they were able to get to some spots. And look, they made some tough shots. I mean, we were right there, you know, contesting the shots, and you give them credit, you tip your hat. Like I said, when there's two good teams and it's a battle like this, sometimes it comes down to, you know, players just stepping up and making plays. And I was proud that we weren't afraid of the moment. We just didn't make some shots.
All but I think they took their last 5 shots were all jumpers. Did you feel like your team was competing defensively to force those tough shots?
Well, we were definitely competing. Absolutely, we were definitely competing. You know, we played good defense on Chase Hunter. He banks a shot in. We play good defense on PJ Hall, where we block a shot. We don't come up with it. He comes up with it. We have him buried underneath, and he hits Wiggins, who hasn't scored in conference play, and he makes a shot. And so those right there, you can't, you know, you play good defense. Sometimes a guy just makes some shots, and they did that.
That pass that Nelly threw to Fetty at the end there, were you okay with that decision making?
Yeah, we just didn't execute it.
Jeff, just getting a score from everyone that saw the floor from your group today, I mean, that's got to be something that you're encouraged by. Obviously, you want to see certain guys do certain things better, but does it feel like your team's playing more of a complete game of basketball right now?
Well, I think we've played complete basketball, and just guys have contributed. Sometimes just because they don't, you know, if they don't score, they still contribute. They do some really good things, and I think our guys have done that. Everyone that's touched the floor for us in every game has done some good things. They're all talented. They're all really good guys. They work really hard, and it was great to see some of those guys to be able to finish some plays. Nate at the end of the half, Guillermo hitting a 3, Jorge stepping up and make some big free throws. You know, so that's, you know, so that was good for us.
It seemed like it was really important with the foul trouble that your forwards got into. You know, it seems like it's important for those guys to be ready despite, you know, not playing as many minutes.
Yeah, everyone has to stay ready. I mean, it's a long season. It's a long season. I think we have 16 guaranteed games left. And so everyone has to be ready. You never know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen in the game. You don't know what's going to happen in practice. And the thing I like about our guys is that they work. You know, they try to stay prepared, and when an opportunity comes, you have to be ready to step up.
Jeff,
And I thought they did.
Oh, sorry. They went up by 10 in the first half, midway through, and you know their coach just told us, you know, you guys are a different team than after that 1-3 start, and jumps out to him on tape. Do you think that 1-3 team could have fought the way that your team did today?
I don't know. I try not to think back to that time. I try to stay present and stay in the moment with my group right now, with our team right now, and try to help us get better each day. Obviously, the obvious answer is probably no, because we didn't. But we've learned from it, and we've gotten better with it. And we'll use this to help us continue to get better, just like we used Virginia to get better, just like we used North Carolina, Syracuse, all those situations.
You guys had, I think this was your second lowest shooting percentage from the field in a game this year, but you still put out 74 points. What goes into finding different ways to score?
Yeah, well, you know, I think we have different weapons. We were able to get to the foul line. We have to capitalize a little bit more when we get there. We've been a good free throw shooting team all year. We missed some key ones, front end of 1-on-1s and things like that. We have to do a better job there. But, you know, we have guys that can put the ball in the basket. We were able to get mid-range. We were able to get to the foul line. We were able to make some plays there.
You guys haven't lost a game in a while. What do you kind of expect to see out of these guys as they bounce back from this one?
Look, man, we talk when we win. Just move on to the next play. So that's the thing. We just have to get better. We'll learn from it. We're not down. You know, we don't feel great. Obviously, we wanted to win, but it's really cool to be in a battle like this. You know, to be in a position where you're playing, where it's a meaningful game, and that's what this was. And it certainly hurts, but we got to move on. Just like the great feeling that we had after Virginia, you got to move on, and so that's what we'll do.
Jeff, speaking of meaningful games, I mean, I know it's early and there's still a lot of games to play in conference play, but this one was for first place. How much did you see maybe your team kind of respond to that, knowing that was out there?
Yeah, I mean, it was out there, but we never talked about it. we just talked about playing this game and competing against a really good team and the opportunity that we had. And I thought our guys were prepared. I thought we played our butts off. I thought we were tough. We were competitive. We fought. We just came up a little bit short. But it's really cool to be in a moment like this, and hopefully we can continue to play well and where we have more moments like this.
Jeff, to follow up on that moment, I mean, you've coached in a lot of games where crowds weren't half as big as they were tonight. I mean, how cool is that to see, as you continue to build something here, that people outside the program are really starting to invest and show up?
Yeah, well, it's awesome. We're grateful, especially for the zoo and everyone that was here, their energy, their passion. We're grateful for it. Hopefully we were able to make them proud. It's interesting. You win, everyone wants to be a part. Now it's, you see who's really with you right now. I didn't have as many text messages when I grabbed my phone as I did after Virginia and North Carolina, and that's cool. Like, you understand what it is. But hopefully the people feel a kinship and a connection with this team and they come out and support this team.
Jeff, you guys have been the best rebounding team in the ACC coming in today, and the rebounds were pretty much dead even. Is that something that you guys had to do better at, or was that just the pace of the game and just really good play from Clemson?
It was just the pace of the game. Look, they're good. Mm-hmm. They're really good. I mean, they've won a lot in a row. They've went and beat a good Virginia Tech team on the road. I mean, Brad's done an amazing job with his team. Their guys have. They're good. And so, it just, it was close. They beat us by one on the boards. They beat us by one in the game. I don't know if there's any correlation with that, but they're good, and so it just happened.
JB talked about the spark that Guillermo brought into the game. He was going up against PJ Hall, in that first half. Going into him, it seemed like he was improving as the game went on. How has he, adjusted to the physicality of the ACC recently?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's not going to be physical, so he has to understand what his strengths are. So he's got to use some quickness, he's got to use some intelligence. And he's got to use his length. I thought he did an amazing job defending him. I think he contested shots. He got 4 offensive rebounds. He hit a 3. He got fouled. He made a great, shot fake in the first half and drove in a really good pass to Nate. I mean, he's getting better, but I'm not surprised by that because he works. And, usually when you work and you have talent, good things kind of happen for you. See you guys.